Started with our topics.
Truth, lies, shenanigans.
All right, Robbie, tell us about Canada's Supreme Court trying to show the U.S. how to do it, huh?
I really
Uh,
missed Lizzie this week.
I
Blame
know.
Canada, blame Canada. For Supreme Court showing yours a better example. Yeah, I'm sure there's some lyrics there. But on Friday, the Supreme Court of Canada ruled that people who don't wear condoms during sex, after being told by their sexual partners, can be convicted of sexual assault. So, in its unanimous decision, the top court ruled that stealthing is the act of pretending to use a condom or removing one prior or during sex without your partner's consent can violate legal grounds for consensual sex and, well, make you culpable of sexual assault. Just for a little bit of, I guess, context, the penalties in Canada for sexual assault, if the complainant is 16 years of age or older, minimum 1 year, maximum 10. And if the complainant is under the age of 16, you're looking at 1 to 14 years. So, this is just a really interesting take on what's happening. I love that the Supreme Court in Canada got something right when it comes to protecting women. And actually, this protects men also, let's be honest, because the practice of stealthing can be practiced by women also who want to entrap a
Oh,
partner.
wait. So
So,
how's that? How does that work exactly? Can you?
well, anyone can take off a condom during sex. So, if you're having consensual sex with a partner and she removes the condom during sex on an upstroke, the condom comes off and it's banned.
Oh,
So,
she
yeah,
has her
all of a
hand
sudden,
down
well,
there
it's
and then just kind of pulls at it
exactly.
and okay.
yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
So men can absolutely fall prey to stealthing also because
Huh,
it's predatory behavior exists in all genders.
yeah,
Let's be honest. So
interesting.
I really wanted to get the American take on what the Canadian judicial system is doing.
Let's start with
winning.
Johnny. What do you think, Johnny?
Winning.
Winning. Winning.
No, this is I would feel honestly, I can't speak for all of the women that I know, but many of them I think wouldn't assume that this was sexual assault. So for if our Supreme Court considered it sexual assault, it would be like just finally a praise on our side on not just for feminine, like not just for feminists like you said, for also men as well, because it just makes you more conscious, I think, with having sex, who you're having sex with. It just make these laws, even though it's sad to have you to use laws to be able to protect us, we should be able to do that ourselves, especially when it comes to like women's bodies. But moving forward, I think that it makes people more conscious, like younger people, if they actually get the message. It makes them more conscious on who they're having sex with, what kind of sex, like safe sex, all of these things, so that it's better protecting them. And I'm here for it. I appreciate that,
Hmm.
but I wish it happened here. We'll see.
Okay. All right, Dr. J.
I mean, yeah, I think that it's, a long overdue type thing. Like if you're having consensual and something happens that no longer makes it consensual. I guess the other thing though would be like, how can you prove it? Like,
Uh,
because no one is
Hmm.
there unless you're filming it. Like, no one
That's true.
usually is
maybe
there
Or
in the
or he
intimate
said, she said
act.
again.
Yeah, it
yeah,
definitely becomes a lot of he said, she said, which would then in turn make it, we already know that it's really, really hard to bring rape charges or sexual assault charges against anyone, period. It's a very much a he said, she said, are you
But what if it
credible? What were
busts?
you doing? What were you wearing? And all that type of thing. And so, I think
yeah,
it's a good thing, like, yeah, like that is definitely an assault if it had been explicitly
Intentional.
said, we're gonna wear
Mhm.
protection and you didn't do that, or it was removed somehow on either party. I just find it because I just think that the hard part of it, like it's easy to pass that as a law. The hard part is gonna be interpretation of the law and then in turn, making it is it gonna be another way to almost victimize people again because again as if you are trying to say someone sexually assaulted you there's so many hoops hurdles and things that you have to go through just to
yeah.
get that across now I don't know if in Canada
Hmm.
maybe they got some common sense and make it easier. But I just say, like, on the American side of it, like, you have to, like, pretty much prove that you are a saint and that, you know, this person actually did do it on a regular problem. Like, so I don't know. It's just going to be kind of interesting to see how that gets played out.
But you
That's
said
an
you said something about them being victimized. How would they be further victimized?
I mean, if you or, like you're gonna have to like come forward to say that this person
Mm,
sexually assaulted me
I see what you're saying.
during sex. Like it's already like,
I see.
when you were saying that somebody, raped you, they're already like, condemning you for having sex to begin with. So now you're in this act that, you know, folks act like, on one hand, if you're a man, go ahead and go out there
Hmm.
and sow your wild oats. And if you're a woman, how dare
Hmm.
you give up your purity? And so now you have to sit there and put all of your business out on the street again, like that. If this happened, sexual assault is not a three-letter word. It is, about control and things like that. And so you already have to say, okay, I at first trusted this person to have sex with them, and now I'm telling them that they didn't, they, violated me, and you have to put all that out there.
Yeah.
Mm.
It
Yeah.
makes it hard.
Yeah. For me,
Yeah,
the
like
first. Go ahead, Dr. J.
oh yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, it's already a highly underreported crime to begin with, just because people don't want to go through that, or you being told you are a terrible person, you are a whore, you are whatever, and now you really have to say, okay, in the act that you guys are condemning me for, this happened. I just
Exactly.
find it's going to be
Mm.
hard. I just find it's going to be, really interesting how that's going to play out. Unless, like I said, unless in Canada there's a definitely different view. Just here in this country, women in particular are so condemned for even being a sexual creature. Oh my gosh, you may enjoy having sex, period, even though they act like they don't know how babies get here. Like you have to have sex for that.
Hmm.
Um, so, it's like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't as a woman
Yeah.
here in this country. And then in the most intimate act that you have with someone else, you're going to have to put all that business on the street.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't know. I think for me, a couple of things hit me at first. First, one, I was like asking myself, what if the thing busts? Like, so I'm kind of feeling what Dr. J's saying, but what if it busts? I mean, how do we go and?
Then that's mechanical failure, Neil. I mean,
Yeah, you
I
I
mean,
feel like
like really, at that
But
point,
how
if
do you
nobody
prove it?
removed the condom,
unless that person's out to get you and she's like, "No, you can have a conversation like, "Hey, stop midway if that's the case and just say, "Hey, this happened." Like I feel like it's a matter of communication unless that person's out to get you and
Mhm.
lock you up for
and that's it.
sexual assault.
A couple of comments online, real
So
quick, Jack.
I
I'll
guess
let
the
you talk.
lesson is always wear a condom. Always wear a condom. Always.
Uh, uh, no.
Unless choosing.
But if it's one of those things where he said, she said, and if
Oh,
I was
okay.
going
If
down
I'm
that dating,
dating,
if I was going down that dating rabbit
okay,
hole, if
yeah,
that's the reality that I was in, then that would become a hard, fast rule. Wear a condom always, which it should be
Yeah,
when you're in that dating world anyway. But
so
we
establish a
are
precedence
human.
is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
right.
Yeah, yeah, because that's it. I mean, if you establish the precedent that you are a safe and responsible, reliable partner, then hopefully character witnesses could come forward and substantiate your claims and protect you if ever anyone accused you erroneously or made a false claim against you.
Yeah. I don't know. That'd be crazy to be
But then you have to
convicted
drag,
of sexual assault
drag
for.
you have to drag all your partners into the courtroom.
I
Like,
know. That's what I was
But you know
thinking
what,
too.
man? But if it's going to protect you, if it's going to prevent you from going to jail for a better part of a decade or a full decade, then why wouldn't you bring everyone out of the woodwork and say, like, no, like this is not how I roll. Check this. And I don't know. It's much needed legislation, in my opinion. This really helps protect everyone because if you choose to have safe, consensual sex with someone and the condom is part of that conversation, as soon as you remove the condom from that equation by someone willfully removing it without the other person's consent, completely different context. Now we are talking sexual assault, 100%. I agree with what the Supreme Court did. And I think you need similar legislation to protect you in lieu of what's happening with the assault on women's reproductive rights in the US and now even on contraception. Like it's crazy shit. I hope
I
that
think
someone's
I feel
watching,
like it's
listening.
I feel like it's not necessarily easier, but it seems like smoother for Canada to pass certain laws that have to do with like social or things that I feel like in America we haven't even like touched the ground. Like we have to somehow come together. It's not even about unity. It's just like we aren't even on the same level sometimes, like spiritually, emotionally. So it's like we haven't even got to that point to even make a law for anybody to even listen at all. Even if that law did pass, I feel like people wouldn't use it as much because, like I
You
said, some people don't even see it as sexual assault. They wouldn't even have thought, unless it was, yeah. Sorry.
you're making the other point I was gonna make. I mean, but we're out of time. But that's what I was gonna say. You know that the, we compare Canada to here. Actually, I was reading one of the comments online, and it kind of states what I'm trying to say. Jeanette Brown says it should definitely be prosecutable here in the U.S. now that it increases a woman's risk of forced motherhood. But
Hmm.
Mhm.
enforcement seems hard because, of course, with the overturning of Roe v. Wade, now you can have this happen to you. Um, Someone remove their condom, impregnate you, and now you have to have the child.
Yeah.
And the father, of course, gets off is not treating the father as someone who sexually assaulted them or tricked them or did anything like that.
Right.
A couple other comments online. Jacqueline Robinson, long overdue as far as I'm concerned. It's shocking that people act as if HIV is a thing of the past. And
It's
then we
true.
have Olivia's on YouTube right now talking about. She says, what about if it goes against your partner's wishes to wear a condom? Some women want to get pregnant against a man's wishes.
And that's where
Well,
the
then
legislation
don't have
protects the
sex.
man also, right? It is sexual assault. If it's not consensual, if she removes the condom on him, that is sexual assault. Yeah,
But I think
it
that that
changes the
would be, and
conversation.
yeah, I mean, definitely it's a conversation you had beforehand. It's like if someone wants to wear a condom, the other person doesn't, then don't have sex. Clearly, there's a disconnect there.
Just to let our TikTokers, we are live on TikTok. Just want to let everyone know we are watching messages on TikTok as
Uh,
well. All right. So, is this truth,
Truth,
lies,
lies,
or
shenanigans.
shenanigans?
What truth?
It's
The
truth.
truth. Good job, Supreme
Mhm.
Court of Canada. Good job on
They
this
did.
one.
They did some good stuff. I mean,
They did good on this one.
they did good. I mean, I
they're
just wish
really
our Supreme Court could do something close to that. Anything.
It would be nice. It would be nice for them to get a good win for a change.